Chosen one. You are not here by accident, and this moment is not random. Heaven has synchronized your steps with this exact second because your prophetic scroll is being unsealed in perfect Kairos timing. What you feel stirring in your spirit is not imagination. It is recognition. The appointed hour written for you before you were formed has come, and your destiny is pressing forward to meet you now. Chosen one, you are standing at the edge of a divinely timed moment. A sealed prophecy is opening and a long-awaited unlocking is beginning to unfold. This could happen today, tonight, or in the coming days, but know this with certainty. Heaven's clock has struck your hour. As it is written in Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, there is a time for everything and a season for every purpose under heaven. Your season has arrived. Anointed one, what was delayed was never denied. It was preserved. As Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 declares, the vision waits for its appointed time, and it will not lie. What God spoke over you is accelerating now. In this moment, faith is being awakened, burdens are lifting, and alignment is happening in ways you cannot yet see, but will soon experience. Chosen one, prepare your heart. Expect movement in your spirit, clarity in your mind, and shifts in your circumstances. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 22 says that in the right time, the Lord will make it happen swiftly. This is that time. Your destiny is responding to heaven's call. Chosen one. There comes a moment when the questions inside you become louder than the noise around you, and you realize you cannot keep explaining yourself to a world that was never meant to understand your depth. I remember reaching that point exhausted from trying to translate my spirit into language that felt too small. That tension you feel now is not confusion, it is compression. Heaven is pressing your identity inward so it can emerge with clarity and authority at the right time. There were seasons when your sensitivity felt like a burden, when discernment made relationships complicated and obedience felt isolating. Yet those same traits are the very tools God will use to position you. You were trained to listen closely because your assignment requires accuracy. While others move quickly, you pause, sense, and wait. That waiting is not delay. It is alignment unfolding beneath the surface. Chosen. One, notice how certain doors closed without explanation, how paths you thought were permanent dissolved suddenly. I have lived through that shaking, watching plans unravel while praying for answers that did not come immediately. Later, I understood that God was removing access to timelines that could not carry my future. When something collapses without your effort, it is often mercy disguised as loss. Your dreams have carried messages because your spirit speaks fluently in symbols. You wake up with emotions before memories, with understanding before details. That is how God trains messengers. He teaches them to trust resonance before reason. Over time, you will learn to discern which dreams are noise and which are instruction. But even now, your spirit already knows the difference. Chosen one. You have felt the strange rhythm of acceleration and stillness. Periods where nothing seems to move, followed by moments where everything shifts at once. This is not instability, it is Kairos timing. As Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3 reminds us, the vision waits for its appointed time, and when it speaks, it will not delay. You are approaching a moment where waiting turns into movement. Your compassion has been refined through exposure to pain, not to wound you further, but to teach you how to carry authority without arrogance. You understand people because you have been misunderstood. You offer grace because you once needed it desperately. This lived wisdom cannot be taught in books. It is etched into the soul through experience. There were nights you prayed quietly, unsure if anyone heard you, moments when obedience felt costly and invisible. I've stood in those same spaces, choosing faith when nothing confirmed it. What I learned is this: heaven records what earth overlooks. Every unseen choice becomes a future door. Chosen one. You are not meant to blend into systems that reward surface strength and ignore spiritual substance. That discomfort you feel in certain environments is your spirit rejecting misalignment. Pay attention to what drains you and what restores you. Your energy responds to truth faster than your mind does. As this season unfolds, you may feel both excitement and fear rising together. That mixture is normal when destiny draws near. Courage does not mean absence of fear. It means obedience in its presence. You are learning to move without full visibility, guided by trust rather than certainty. God is not rushing you, but He is positioning you. What feels slow is being stabilized. What feels heavy is being strengthened. You are not behind. You are being anchored so that when movement comes, it lasts. Chosen. One, remain open, remain humble, remain listening. Your story is not stalling, it is aligning. Even now, subtle confirmations are surrounding you, quiet assurances that do not shout, but settle deeply within your spirit. Pay attention to what repeats, to the gentle nudges that refuse to leave. I learned that God often whispers before He moves, inviting agreement before action. You are being taught to respond without rushing, to trust without forcing, and to stand steady while heaven rearranges circumstances in your favor. This posture will protect you when momentum increases, and it will keep you grounded when doors open. What begins quietly often carries the loudest authority when the appointed moment arrives and the unseen becomes visible. Chosen one. There is a deeper layer to this journey that only reveals itself after you stop fighting who you are. I remember the season when I finally surrendered the need to be understood. It was uncomfortable at first, almost like stepping into silence without armor, but something holy happened there. When you stop defending your difference, heaven begins to define it. That is when clarity replaces confusion and identity replaces striving. You were never meant to chase validation. Your spirit was built to respond to recognition, not applause. That is why praise from the wrong places always felt empty, and approval that came too easily never satisfied you. Your soul knows the difference between noise and calling. God has been training you to discern weight, not volume. This is why shallow success never held you, and why your heart kept pulling you toward meaning, even when it cost you comfort. Chosen one. There were moments when you felt delayed compared to others. You watched people rise quickly, achieve publicly, and move forward while you felt hidden, paused, or restrained. I have walked through that comparison trap, wondering if obedience was slowing me down. What I learned later is this: speed is not favor, sustainability is. God slows down those He plans to trust with lasting influence. You were not held back. You were being fortified. Notice how your life has unfolded in layers rather than leaps. Growth came through pressure, not shortcuts. Wisdom came through failure, not formulas. Authority came through endurance, not titles. These are not accidents. They are markers of someone being prepared for long-term impact rather than temporary momentum. Chosen one. Your discernment will soon become sharper, not harsher. You will begin to sense truth without suspicion and recognize misalignment without bitterness. This is a sign of maturity. Early discernment often feels heavy because it lacks context. Mature discernment carries peace because it understands timing. You are moving from survival awareness into leadership clarity. There will be a shift in how you respond to conflict. What once triggered you will soon instruct you. What once wounded you will soon reveal patterns. I remember the first time I realized a confrontation no longer shook my identity. That was the moment I knew God had healed something deep. Healing does not make you passive, it makes you precise. Chosen one, as this season continues, you may feel a quiet authority settling in you. Not loud, not demanding, but steady. People may begin to listen differently when you speak. Conversations may slow down around you. Questions may come without you asking for them. This is not ego. This is influence forming naturally. Heaven trusts those who do not rush power. Your inner life will matter more than your outer appearance. God will continue pruning distractions, even good ones, so your focus remains clear. Some interests will fade, some relationships will naturally loosen. This is not loss, it is refinement. When alignment deepens, excess falls away. You may feel called to simplify, to speak less but with more weight, to act slower but with more conviction. This is wisdom emerging. I learned that when God prepares you for greater responsibility, He often reduces your noise before increasing your reach. Chosen one. Your prayer life will change. It will become less about asking and more about aligning, less about urgency and more about listening. Silence will no longer feel empty. It will feel full. That is when guidance becomes clearer and fear loses its grip. Do not be surprised if your sense of time shifts. Days may feel heavier or lighter. Moments may feel charged. This is Kairos awareness developing. You are learning to recognize divine timing rather than chase outcomes. Trust this process. What is forming in you now cannot be rushed without being damaged. Remain faithful in small obedience. Remain honest with God about your doubts. He is not threatened by them. He uses them to deepen trust. Chosen one. Your story is not unfolding randomly. It is being written with intention, line by line, through choices you make when no one is watching. This season is not loud, but it is powerful. Stay present in it. Stay anchored. What is being built now will carry you when visibility increases, and it will protect you when influence grows. Chosen one. There comes a point on this path where you begin to realize that your difference was never meant to isolate you forever, but to shape you deeply before you are revealed. I remember a season when I finally understood that the reason I could not fit neatly into places others seemed comfortable in was not because I was broken, but because I was being prepared for something that required depth. You may feel that now. You sense that surface-level living no longer satisfies you, and even when life looks stable on the outside, your spirit knows there is more unfolding beneath the surface. You have likely noticed that your inner standards have changed. Things you once tolerated now disturb your peace. Conversations that once entertained you now feel empty. This is not arrogance, it is alignment. God is refining your internal compass so you can recognize what belongs in your future and what must remain in your past. I learned that discernment often shows up first as discomfort before it shows up as clarity. Pay attention to what unsettles you because it is often pointing you away from what no longer serves your calling. Chosen one. You may still wrestle with moments of doubt, especially when your journey does not resemble the paths of those around you. I have sat with that comparison many times, watching others move forward quickly, while my own progress felt slow and hidden. What I eventually realized is that God was not measuring my life by speed, but by stability. He was not asking how fast I could move, but how deeply I could stand. Your slower seasons were not wasted. They were anchoring you. There is a reason your growth came through pressure rather than praise. Pressure reveals what praise can hide. It builds endurance, patience, and integrity. You learned how to stay faithful without applause, how to pray without immediate answers, how to obey when outcomes were uncertain. These qualities cannot be taught quickly. They are formed over time, and they are essential for anyone called to carry weight in the spirit, or chosen one. You may feel that your discernment is becoming more refined, not louder. You are less reactive now. You pause more. You observe patterns instead of just moments. This is a sign of maturity. Early discernment often feels urgent and overwhelming because it lacks context. Mature discernment carries calm because it understands timing. You are learning to trust that not everything requires immediate action. Some things require patience and prayer. There will be moments when your quietness is misunderstood. People may interpret your restraint as distance or your boundaries as disinterest. I have experienced that misunderstanding, and it used to trouble me. Over time, I learned that clarity often costs comfort. You cannot live aligned with heaven and be fully explained to everyone around you. That tension is part of the calling. Chosen one. Your emotional world is also being healed. You are no longer as easily triggered by situations that once destabilized you. You still feel deeply, but you are not consumed by feeling. This balance is powerful. It allows you to remain compassionate without losing discernment and engaged without becoming overwhelmed. Healing does not make you numb, it makes you steady. You may notice that your relationship with conflict has changed. Instead of reacting defensively, you are more inclined to reflect. Instead of rushing to resolve tension, you wait for clarity. This shift is not passivity, it is wisdom. God is teaching you how to respond from identity rather than insecurity. That is leadership formation happening quietly within you. Chosen one. There is also a growing awareness that your life carries influence even when you are not trying to lead. Your presence affects rooms. Your words linger longer than you expect. People may feel calm or convicted around you without understanding why. This is not something to manage or perform. It is the natural outcome of alignment. Influence rooted in integrity does not need to announce itself. You are also learning the value of simplicity. Complexity once felt productive, but now clarity feels more powerful. God is pruning distractions, even good ones, so your focus remains clear. Some interests may fade, some relationships may shift. This is not loss, it is refinement. When alignment deepens, excess naturally falls away. Chosen one. Your prayer life is evolving as well. You are asking fewer frantic questions and listening more attentively. Silence no longer feels empty. It feels full. I learned that God often speaks most clearly when we stop filling the space with our own urgency. This stillness is where instruction forms and fear loosens its grip. There may be times when you feel both anticipation and uncertainty rising together. That mixture is normal when destiny draws closer. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is obedience in the presence of fear. You are learning to move forward without full visibility, trusting God one step at a time. Chosen one, trust the process unfolding now. What is being formed in you cannot be rushed without being damaged. Remain faithful in small obedience. Remain honest with God about your doubts. He is not threatened by them. He uses them to deepen trust. You are not being shaped for temporary impact. You are being prepared for lasting influence. This season may not be loud, but it is powerful. Stay present. Stay anchored. What is forming now will support you when visibility increases and protect you when responsibility grows. Chosen one. There is a quiet confidence beginning to rise within you that does not need validation or permission, and you may have noticed it arriving slowly, almost unnoticed at first. It shows up in the way you respond, instead of react, in the way you pause before speaking, and in the way you no longer feel the urge to explain your boundaries. I remember when this shift happened for me. It was subtle but unmistakable. I stopped needing to prove my intentions, and peace replaced urgency. That is not withdrawal. That is authority settling into place. You are learning that strength does not always announce itself. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it simply stands. The old version of you survived by adapting, by reading rooms carefully, by staying alert to emotional undercurrents. That survival skill served its purpose, but now God is transitioning you from survival into stewardship. You are no longer meant to just endure environments. You are meant to shape them through presence, discernment, and restraint. Chosen one, you may feel a new sensitivity to truth. Not just moral truth, but emotional and spiritual honesty. False harmony feels heavy now. Politeness without integrity drains you. This is because your spirit is aligning with clarity. God is teaching you to value truth over comfort, alignment over acceptance. This will narrow your circle, but it will deepen your impact. There will be moments when people misunderstand your quietness as distance, your boundaries as pride, or your discernment as judgment. I have faced those projections too, and it used to shake me. Over time, I learned that misunderstanding is often the cost of obedience. You cannot be fully aligned with heaven and fully explain to everyone at the same time. Chosen one. Your internal world is becoming more ordered. Chaos no longer feels familiar. Confusion no longer feels normal. When disorder shows up, you notice it quickly, not with fear, but with clarity. This is leadership formation. Leaders sense instability early, not to panic, but to prepare. You may also notice a deepening hunger for solitude that is not loneliness. Time alone feels restorative, not empty. Silence feels instructive, not awkward. This is where God refines perception. I learned more about myself in quiet moments than in loud successes. Solitude reveals what noise conceals. Your relationship with time is changing as well. You are less rushed by external pressure and more attentive to internal alignment. Deadlines matter, but peace matters more. Momentum still excites you, but only when it feels clean. This is not indecision. This is maturity. Chosen one. You are being taught to steward energy. You will no longer pour into spaces that cannot receive you. You will stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. This is not bitterness. It is wisdom protecting capacity. You cannot carry your assignment if you exhaust yourself trying to convince others of its value. As this season unfolds, you may sense invitations forming quietly rather than dramatically. Opportunities may come through conversations instead of announcements. Pay attention to what feels steady, not just exciting. God often leads through peace, not pressure. You will also notice a shift in how you pray. Less desperation, more alignment. Less asking for rescue, more asking for clarity. Prayer becomes conversation rather than crisis. This is a sign of trust deepening. Chosen one, trust that you are not becoming cold. You are becoming anchored. Compassion remains, but it is no longer fueled by self-neglect. Love remains, but it is no longer entangled with approval. This balance is crucial for what lies ahead. You are learning to carry responsibility without heaviness, to hold vision without anxiety, to move forward without rushing. This internal stability is the foundation for external influence. Stay attentive to what God is pruning. Not everything leaving your life is loss. Some things are making room for what can finally stay. What remains will feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned. Chosen one, do not underestimate the power of consistency in this season. Small, obedient steps carry more weight than dramatic declarations. Faithfulness is being woven into your character, quietly preparing you for trust you cannot yet see. This stage is about internal confirmation. You are no longer waiting for signs to prove you are chosen. You are recognizing alignment because your spirit knows. That knowing will steady you when circumstances fluctuate. Remain grounded, remain honest, remain listening. You are not drifting. You are being positioned with precision, and this quiet strengthening will soon make sense in ways words cannot yet explain. Chantaman, there is a quiet strength forming within you now that does not need to announce itself, and you may have noticed that your reactions to life are no longer what they once were. Situations that used to provoke urgency now invite discernment. Conversations that once pulled you into over-explaining now end naturally without effort. I remember when this shift first appeared in my own journey. It felt unfamiliar, almost uncomfortable, because I was used to surviving by constant alertness. What I later understood was that God was not taking something away. He was settling something into place. You are learning that authority does not come from intensity, but from alignment. The old version of you learned how to read rooms, sense danger, and adapt quickly because survival demanded it. That skill protected you, but it was never meant to be your permanent posture. Now God is transitioning you from survival into stewardship. You are no longer required to constantly adjust yourself to environments. Instead, your presence itself begins to influence the environment. This is not dominance, it is stability. Chosen one, you may feel less interested in explaining yourself and more committed to honoring your peace. Boundaries feel clearer now. Not harsh, not defensive, just firm. There was a time when I believed boundaries meant rejection, but I learned that boundaries are simply clarity made visible. They protect your energy so you can give from overflow rather than depletion. God is teaching you that your capacity matters because your assignment requires sustainability. There is also a new relationship forming between you and truth. Not abstract truth, but lived truth. You can no longer tolerate false harmony or polite dishonesty. Things that once felt manageable now feel heavy. This is not judgment. It is discernment maturing. Your spirit is aligning with integrity, and integrity will always cost you superficial acceptance, but it will protect your calling. Chosen one. Misunderstanding may increase during this phase. People may misinterpret your quietness as distance, your discernment as criticism, or your restraint as pride. I have walked through that season, and it can feel isolating if you are not anchored. What helped me was realizing that obedience does not require agreement from others. Alignment with God will often place you out of step with expectations that were never meant to define you. Your internal world is becoming more ordered. Chaos no longer feels normal. Confusion no longer feels familiar. When disorder appears, you notice it quickly, not with fear, but with clarity. This is leadership formation. Leaders do not panic at instability. They recognize it early and respond wisely. God is training your perception so you can see patterns before problems escalate. You may notice that solitude feels different now. Time alone no longer feels empty or heavy. It feels restorative. Silence teaches you things noise never could. I learned more about my motives, my fears, and my obedience in quiet moments than I ever did in crowded seasons. God refines perception in stillness because stillness removes performance. Chosen one. Your relationship with time is also changing. You are less driven by urgency and more guided by alignment. You still care about progress, but you are no longer willing to sacrifice peace to achieve it. This is not complacency, it is wisdom. You understand now that speed without clarity creates regret, while patience, guided by discernment, builds trust. You are learning to steward energy with intention. You no longer pour into places that cannot receive you. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. This is not bitterness, it is maturity. Your assignment requires discernment about where you invest your emotional and spiritual resources. Exhaustion does not glorify God. Faithfulness does. There is also a noticeable shift in how you pray. Prayer feels less frantic and more grounded. You are not constantly asking God to fix everything. You are asking Him to align you. Less desperation, more listening. Less urgency, more trust. Prayer becomes conversation rather than crisis. This is the fruit of relationship, not ritual. Chosen one, do not confuse this quieter season with stagnation. A tree grows roots before it grows branches. God is strengthening what is unseen, so what becomes visible will not collapse under pressure. You are being built for longevity, not just momentum. This kind of preparation is slow by design because it must hold weight. You may feel drawn to simplify many areas of your life. Commitments, routines, even dreams are being refined. Simplicity is not reduction, it is focus. God removes excess so clarity can increase. When clarity increases, confidence follows naturally. There will be moments when old habits of overthinking try to resurface. When that happens, return to peace as your reference point. Peace does not mean absence of challenge, it means presence of alignment. If peace leaves pause, God often guides more through restraint than through pressure. Chosen one, your confidence is becoming quieter but stronger. You are no longer trying to convince others of who you are becoming. You are allowing your life to speak over time. This patience carries authority. Influence rooted in consistency lasts longer than influence driven by performance. You are learning that strength does not require hardness. Sensitivity has not left you, it has been disciplined. Compassion remains, but it no longer comes at the cost of self-neglect. Love remains, but it is no longer tangled with approval. This balance is essential for what lies ahead. Remain attentive to what God is pruning. Not everything leaving your life is loss. Some things are making room for what can finally stay. What remains will feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned with who you are becoming. Chosen. One, consistency matters more now than intensity. Small, faithful steps carry more weight than dramatic declarations. Obedience practiced quietly builds trust that cannot be shaken when responsibility increases. You are not waiting for permission to become who you are recognizing it. That knowing brings stability, and that stability will carry you into the next season without force, without fear, and without losing yourself. Stay grounded, stay listening, stay aligned. What is being strengthened now will soon make sense when the path opens wider, and when it does, you will walk forward with clarity rather than urgency and peace rather than pressure. Chosen one. You are entering a phase where the calling you sensed for so long is no longer theoretical, emotional, or distant. It is becoming practical, embodied, and quietly demanding. This is the moment when you stop asking whether you are chosen and begin asking how you are meant to live as someone who is chosen. I remember when this realization first settled into my own spirit. It did not come with excitement. It came with responsibility. It felt like standing upright without leaning on confusion anymore. There was clarity, but also weight, because clarity always brings accountability. You are learning now that obedience matters more than enthusiasm. Passion is still present, but it is no longer impulsive. It is disciplined. You are discovering that not every open door is yours, and not every opportunity that looks good aligns with your assignment. This discernment is protecting you. God is teaching you that direction is more important than speed, and alignment is more valuable than momentum. Chosen. 1. Patience is being formed deeply within you. Not passive waiting, but active trust. You are learning how to continue doing what is right, even when affirmation is delayed. I have walked through seasons where silence followed obedience, where nothing seemed to confirm that I was on the right path. What I learned is that heaven often affirms privately before it confirms publicly. This kind of patience stabilizes you so that when responsibility increases, you do not collapse under pressure. You may feel a pull to build quietly right now, to strengthen skills, habits, and inner disciplines that no one else can see. This building phase may feel ordinary, but it is sacred. God hides future impact inside present consistency. What you repeat faithfully now will support you later when demands increase. Nothing done in obedience is wasted. Your emotional resilience is also deepening. Situations that once overwhelmed you now invite reflection. You still feel deeply, but you no longer spiral. This is not numbness, it is healing. Strength is forming that allows you to experience emotion without being controlled by it. This balance will be essential as your influence grows. Chosen. 1. Relationships will continue to adjust. Some connections will deepen naturally. Others will shift or fade without conflict. This is alignment, not abandonment. God often reorders community before expanding assignment. He surrounds you with people who can walk with who you are becoming, not who you used to be. You are also learning to trust your inner witness more confidently, that quiet sense of knowing that does not shout but settles. I learned to honor that still guidance even when it contradicted logic or expectation. Over time, it proved reliable. Discernment matures through practice, not perfection. There may be moments when you feel stretched between humility and confidence. This tension is healthy. Humility keeps you teachable. Confidence keeps you moving. God balances both, so you do not shrink in fear or strive in pride. You are learning to stand without exaggerating yourself or minimizing yourself. Chosen 1. Your faith is becoming practical. Less about ideas, more about embodiment. You trust God not only in prayer but in decisions, boundaries, and rhythms. Faith is no longer something you turn on during crisis. It is something you live from daily. This lived faith creates stability that cannot be shaken easily. As responsibility increases, simplicity becomes necessary. You may feel drawn to simplify routines, commitments, and expectations. This is not withdrawal. It is focus. Clarity grows where excess is removed. God is helping you protect what matters most, so you can remain responsive rather than reactive. Do not rush visibility. Influence that arrives before identity is established creates instability. God is ensuring your roots go deep before your reach extends far. I learned that being seen too early can damage what has not yet been strengthened. Timing is protection. You may feel moments of anticipation mixed with calm. Not anxiety, not impatience, but readiness. This is alignment. Excitement without pressure, expectation without striving. It is a sign that movement is near, but not forced. Chosen one, continue choosing integrity when shortcuts appear. Continue choosing rest when burnout tempts you. Continue choosing truth even when silence would be easier. These choices are shaping your authority. Leadership begins with self-governance, stewarding thoughts, managing emotions, honoring limits. This inner leadership will support outer responsibility. Remain patient with yourself. Growth does not eliminate vulnerability, it integrates it. Strength does not erase sensitivity, it directs it. You are learning how to carry both without conflict. You are not late, you are not early, you are on time according to heaven's order. Trust the pace, trust the process, trust the one guiding you. This season is not about arrival, it is about readiness becoming embodied. Chosen one. There will come a moment when you realize you no longer need constant reassurance that you are on the right path. Alignment will feel natural, not forced. Direction will feel internal, not dependent on external validation. I remember that shift clearly. Decisions became simpler, not because choices were easier, but because my values were clearer. You are learning to recognize when God is leading without overthinking every step. Trust is becoming instinctive. Faith is moving from effort into posture. This is the fruit of walking with God through uncertainty and not turning back. Chosen one. You may notice a deeper respect for your own limits. You honor rest without guilt. You say no without apology. This is not selfishness, it is stewardship. God does not ask you to sacrifice sustainability for productivity. Your emotional world is stabilizing as well. You feel deeply, but you are no longer overwhelmed by feeling. Sensitivity is now guided by wisdom. Compassion flows without draining you dry. This balance is essential for what you are called to carry. There may still be moments of doubt, but they no longer dominate you. They pass through without taking residence. I learned that faith does not eliminate doubt. It simply refuses to let doubt lead. Chosen one. You are becoming comfortable with not being fully understood. You no longer chase explanation. Peace matters more than clarity to others. This freedom protects your calling from unnecessary exposure. Your relationship with God feels more conversational now, less formal, more honest. You listen as much as you speak. This intimacy sharpens discernment and anchors obedience. You may sense that certain skills, ideas, or callings you once set aside are resurfacing gently. Pay attention to what returns with peace. God often restores purpose quietly when timing aligns. Chosen one, you are being taught to move with intention rather than impulse. This restraint is not fear. It is wisdom. When movement comes, it will feel deliberate, grounded, and right. Remain faithful in ordinary obedience. Continue choosing integrity in unseen moments. Continue listening when silence feels uncomfortable. These choices are shaping the strength of what you will carry. You are not waiting for destiny. You are walking into it step by step. Trust the rhythm. Trust the shaping. Trust the one guiding you. This season is not loud, but it is decisive. Alignment is settling in. Readiness is becoming embodied. When the next door opens, you will recognize it not by pressure, but by peace. Chosen one, there is a stage in the journey where movement begins to happen internally, long before anything shifts outwardly, and this is often the most misunderstood phase. From the outside, it may look like nothing has changed, but inside alignment is locking into place. I remember walking through a season like this, where life looked quiet and ordinary, yet my inner world felt intensely active. Decisions carried more weight. Discernment felt sharper. Silence felt full. That is how you know something real is forming. You are learning to recognize the difference between urgency and instruction. In the past, pressure may have pushed you to act quickly just to relieve tension. Now you are learning to wait until peace confirms the step. This is not hesitation, it is precision. Heaven moves with intention, not anxiety. Chosen one, your sense of identity is no longer reactive. You're not reshaping yourself based on who enters or exits your life. You're rooted. When people misunderstand you now, it no longer shakes your core. It may still sting, but it does not redefine you. That stability is essential for what is ahead. You may notice that your emotional responses have slowed. You still feel deeply, but you no longer spiral. Reflection has replaced reaction. I learned that this shift came when trust finally took root. When you trust God with outcomes, you no longer need to control moments. There is also a growing respect for process within you. You are no longer tempted by shortcuts that promise speed at the expense of integrity. You understand now that anything built quickly without foundation will eventually demand a higher cost. This wisdom has been earned, not taught. Chosen one, pay attention to the conversations you are drawn to lately. They may feel quieter, deeper, more intentional. Surface talk exhausts you now while substance restores you. This is because your spirit is aligning with depth. You are being prepared for conversations that shape direction, not just fill space. You may feel a pull toward learning, refining skills, or revisiting ideas that once felt premature. This is not regression, it is timing. God often circles us back to things we were shown early, once we are mature enough to steward them well. Your prayer life continues to evolve. You are less focused on outcomes and more attuned to posture. You are learning to sit with God rather than rush Him. In that stillness, clarity forms naturally. Chosen one. There may be moments when you feel invisible again, even after growth. Do not interpret this as being overlooked. Some transitions require privacy. Seeds grow best underground. Visibility will come when exposure will not damage what is growing. You are also learning to discern when to speak and when to remain quiet. Words carry weight now, and you feel that responsibility. This restraint will protect you from unnecessary conflict and preserve energy for what truly matters. Notice how your confidence feels quieter but more stable. You are not trying to convince anyone of who you are becoming. You are allowing your life to speak over time. This patience is powerful. Chosen one. You are entering a phase where trust replaces striving. You still move forward, but without panic. You still hope, but without pressure. This balance is rare, and it is necessary for what is coming. Remain faithful in the unseen. Remain obedient in small instructions. Remain attentive to peace. You are not drifting. You are being guided with care and precision. This stage is not dramatic, but it is decisive. Identity is settling. Alignment is deepening. When outward movement comes, it will feel natural, not forced, because the work within has already been done. Chosen one, there is a quiet readiness forming in you, now the kind that does not announce itself, but reveals itself through steadiness. You may not feel a rush of excitement or urgency, yet there is a calm expectancy resting in your spirit. I remember recognizing that feeling as a sign that fear was no longer driving anticipation. Peace had taken its place. You are learning to trust your inner sense of timing. You no longer need constant confirmation to move forward. When alignment is present, hesitation fades naturally. This is not recklessness, it is familiarity with God's leading. Chosen one. You may notice that your vision for the future feels clearer, even if details remain undefined. You know the direction, even if the route is still unfolding. This is enough. Clarity of direction matters more than certainty of outcome. Your relationship with responsibility is changing as well. You no longer avoid it, but you also no longer carry what is not yours. Discernment has taught you to separate calling from obligation. This protects you from burnout and resentment. There may be moments when past versions of yourself resurface in memory, not to pull you back, but to remind you how far you have come. When this happens, allow gratitude to replace judgment. Growth honors its own history. Chosen one. You are becoming comfortable with forward movement that is steady rather than dramatic. You understand now that lasting impact is built quietly over time. I learned that consistency often carries more authority than charisma. Your faith is now integrated into daily life, not compartmentalized. You trust God in ordinary decisions as much as in major ones. This integration creates stability that cannot be shaken easily. You may also sense a stronger pull toward alignment in practical areas of life. Work routines, relationships and habits are coming under greater intentionality. God often aligns the practical before releasing the visible. Chosen one. Your patience is no longer passive, it is active trust. You are not waiting idly, you are preparing attentively. This posture allows you to respond quickly when instruction comes. Do not be surprised if movement begins subtly, a conversation, an idea, an invitation. God often initiates change through small openings rather than grand gestures. Pay attention to what feels calm and right, not just exciting. You are also learning to honor rest as part of obedience. Strength is maintained through rhythm, not constant motion. This discipline will sustain you when responsibility increases. Chosen one, remain grounded in humility. Remain open to correction. Remain responsive to peace. These qualities will protect your calling more than talent ever could. You're not behind. You're not forgotten. You're not waiting for permission. You are being prepared to move with clarity when the moment arrives. Trust the quiet confidence growing within you. Trust the discernment that now guides your steps. Trust the process that has shaped you patiently. This season is bringing alignment into embodiment. You are not just understanding your calling, you are becoming someone who can carry it. Stay present. Stay faithful, stay aligned. What is next will meet you when readiness and timing agree, and when it does, you will recognize it not by urgency, but by peace. Chosen one. There is a point on this path where awareness turns into responsibility, and you may be sensing that shift now. It is the realization that what you carry is not just for your own healing, clarity, or peace, but for service beyond yourself. I remember the first time this truth settled deeply in me. It was not dramatic, it was weighty. I understood that growth had moved me from survival into stewardship, and that realization changed how I approached every decision afterward. You are no longer asking who you are becoming. You are beginning to ask how you are meant to live as who you already are. This is a different kind of question. It requires presence, humility, and consistency rather than ambition. God is not asking you to perform your calling. He is inviting you to embody it. That embodiment begins in the unseen rhythms of daily life. Ozone 1. Your sensitivity now serves a different purpose. It no longer exists to protect you from harm, but to guide you toward impact. You sense atmospheres not to withdraw, but to respond wisely. You notice shifts not to panic, but to prepare. This recalibration takes time, and you are navigating it with increasing grace. There may be moments when you feel the weight of expectation, not from others, but from yourself. You know what you are capable of now, and that awareness can feel heavy if not held correctly. I learned that God does not measure us by potential realized, but by faithfulness practiced. You are not behind if you move steadily. You are aligned. Chosen one. You are learning that leadership begins with self-awareness. You monitor your motives. You check your heart. You pause before reacting. These quiet disciplines are forming integrity that will sustain influence when responsibility increases. Many people want platforms. Few are willing to cultivate character when no one is watching. You are doing that work now. Your discernment continues to mature, and with it, your compassion becomes more grounded. You no longer confuse empathy with responsibility. You care deeply, but you do not carry what God has not assigned. This clarity is freeing. It allows you to serve without depletion and love without losing yourself. There will be times when your path feels narrow again, not because options are gone, but because focus is required. I have walked through seasons where simplicity was necessary for clarity to emerge. God often narrows our field of vision so we can see what truly matters. This is not restriction, it is precision. Chosen one, you may feel an increasing pull toward integrity in small things. Honesty in conversation, consistency in commitments, alignment in habits. These details matter more than you realize. Destiny is not compromised by one dramatic failure as often as it is weakened by repeated small misalignments. Your attention to these things is protecting your future. Your relationship with fear is also changing. Fear may still appear, but it no longer commands you. You acknowledge it, assess it, and move forward with wisdom rather than avoidance. Courage is becoming familiar. Not the loud kind, but the steady kind that shows up again and again. Chosen one, you are beginning to trust that obedience does not require complete understanding. There were times in my own journey when clarity came only after movement. I learned that God often reveals the next step, not the full path, because trust is built through walking, not observing. You may sense that certain conversations, environments, or habits no longer fit. Release them gently. You do not need to burn bridges to move forward. Some connections end naturally when alignment changes. Letting go with peace honors both the past and the future. There is also a growing awareness that your life carries weight in ways you once underestimated. Your presence affects rooms. Your words influence decisions. Your consistency provides stability for others. This influence has been forming quietly, and it will continue to expand as you remain grounded. Chosen. One, remember that your calling does not demand perfection. It requires availability. God works through willing vessels, not flawless ones. You will make mistakes. You will adjust. You will learn. Growth continues even after alignment settles. Your faith is no longer reactive. It is responsive. You listen before acting. You align before speaking. This posture will keep you steady when circumstances shift unexpectedly. As responsibility deepens, humility must remain close. Pride isolates. Humility connects. I learned that staying teachable kept my path clear, even when success tempted me to rush ahead. Remain open to correction. Remain willing to listen. Chosen one. Your journey has taught you endurance, patience, and discernment. These are not minor traits. They are foundational for leadership that lasts. Many can start strong. Few can sustain with integrity. You are being prepared to sustain. You are not being asked to rush into visibility or achievement. You are being invited to live faithfully where you are. The future will unfold naturally from obedience practiced now. Stay anchored in truth. Stay attentive to peace. Stay responsive to instruction. What you carry is significant, but it will be expressed best through a life that is steady, grounded, and aligned. This phase is about living the calling, not announcing it. And in that quiet faithfulness, destiny continues to take shape. Chosen one. There comes a season when the journey stops feeling like preparation and starts feeling like participation, even though nothing outward has dramatically changed yet. This is the season where heaven begins to treat you not as someone being shaped, but as someone being trusted. You may sense this in subtle ways, such as an increased awareness of your choices, a deeper sensitivity to consequences, and a stronger inner restraint guiding your decisions. I remember realizing this shift when I noticed God correcting me faster, not with condemnation, but with clarity. It felt like a sign of closeness rather than distance. You are learning now that maturity in the spirit does not come with constant reassurance. It comes with quiet responsibility. God is allowing you to feel the weight of discernment because He knows you can carry it without collapsing under pressure. This is not heaviness meant to burden you. It is gravity meant to ground you. You are becoming someone who can hold truth without needing to announce it and carry insight without needing applause. Chosen one. You may find yourself reflecting more deeply on the choices you make, not out of fear, but out of awareness. You understand now that every decision shapes direction. Nothing feels casual anymore. Even small yeses and quiet no's seem to matter more. This awareness is not meant to paralyze you, it is meant to refine you. God trusts you with influence because He sees your willingness to move with care. Your inner dialogue is also changing. Where there was once self-doubt, there is now honest assessment. Where there was once anxiety, there is now consideration. I learned that growth often replaces fear with responsibility. You are no longer asking if you are capable. You are asking how to steward what you have been given wisely. Chosen one. There may be moments when you miss the simplicity of earlier seasons, when faith felt more emotional and less intentional. That longing is normal. Early faith is often fueled by feeling. Mature faith is sustained by commitment. God is not removing passion from you. He is anchoring it so it does not burn out when challenged. You are also becoming more aware of how your presence affects others. People may feel safe around you without knowing why. Conversations may slow down when you enter a room. Questions may surface unexpectedly. This is not something you need to manage or perform. It is the natural result of alignment. Authority that is earned through integrity does not need to announce itself. Chosen one, you are learning to sit with complexity without rushing to resolve it. You can hold tension without needing immediate answers. This capacity is rare. It allows you to navigate situations with wisdom rather than impulse. I remember when I stopped needing to fix every discomfort and instead learned to listen. That shift brought clarity I could never force. Your faith has become more embodied. You trust God, not just in prayer, but in practice. You rely on His guidance in decisions, boundaries, and rhythms. Faith is no longer something you visit. It is something you live inside. This integration gives you stability that cannot be easily shaken. There may still be moments of uncertainty, but they no longer dominate your emotional landscape. Doubt may pass through, but it does not take residence. You have learned to acknowledge questions without surrendering trust. This balance allows growth to continue without fear taking control. Chosen one, you are becoming more comfortable with responsibility that is unseen. You no longer need recognition to remain faithful. I learned that this stage of growth is where many turn back, not because the calling disappears, but because the reward feels delayed. You are choosing differently. You are choosing substance over speed. Your sense of timing is sharpening. You can feel when to act and when to wait. This discernment protects you from rushing ahead of alignment or lagging behind obedience. God often speaks in restraint as much as in action. You are learning to hear both. There is also a deepening respect for rest in your life. You understand now that exhaustion dulls discernment. You are honoring your limits, not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. This discipline will sustain you when responsibility increases. Chosen one, relationships continue to recalibrate. Some connections feel more aligned. Others feel complete. You are learning to release without resentment and to welcome without dependency. This emotional maturity will protect you from carrying burdens that do not belong to you. You may notice that your creativity, insight, or calling expresses itself more clearly now. Ideas feel grounded rather than scattered. Vision feels attainable rather than overwhelming. This is alignment taking form. God is not rushing you into expression. He is stabilizing you so what you express lasts. There is a growing sense of trust between you and God. You move with less explanation and more obedience. I learned that this trust developed when I stopped asking God to prove Himself and started proving faithful myself. Trust is mutual. It deepens through consistency. Chosen one, you are becoming someone who can be entrusted with influence without losing humility. This balance is rare and valuable. Pride isolates. Humility multiplies. Your willingness to remain teachable keeps your path open. Your inner world is quieter now, not empty, but ordered. Peace has replaced noise. Focus has replaced distraction. This internal order will support you when external demands increase. You are also learning to carry joy without attachment. Happiness is no longer dependent on outcomes. Gratitude has become a posture rather than a reaction. This joy will sustain you through seasons of growth and challenge alike. Chosen one, you are not waiting for life to begin. You are living it intentionally. Every step matters. Every choice shapes direction. You are not behind. You are not early. You are aligned. Remain faithful to what you know. Remain attentive to peace. Remain responsive to instruction. The work happening within you is significant, even if it feels quiet. This season is about integration. Who you are becoming is aligning with how you live. Calling is no longer separate from character. Destiny is no longer abstract. It is being expressed through daily faithfulness. You are not being prepared for something far away. You are being shaped for what is already approaching. Stay grounded. Stay listening. Stay open. What you carry is weighty, but you are not carrying it alone. Heaven is involved in every detail, guiding, correcting, and strengthening you along the way. This chapter is not about arrival. It is about embodiment. And in this embodiment, your life becomes the message without needing to speak it aloud. Chosen one, as this message comes to rest in your spirit, take a moment to breathe and recognize the holy weight of where you are standing right now. This was not just a video, this was an encounter. Heaven has been speaking to you because your sealed prophecy is opening and your hidden scroll is no longer hidden. You are standing in your exact Kairos moment, the divinely appointed time written for you on heaven's clock, long before you ever understood your calling. Anointed. 1. Everything you have walked through was not wasted. The isolation, the resistance, the delays, the quiet obedience, the unanswered questions, and the battles fought in silence were all shaping you for this hour. What once felt like delay was divine timing. What once felt like loss was protection. What once felt like confusion was preparation. Now clarity is rising, alignment is settling, and heaven is confirming what your spirit has known all along. You are rare because your assignment is rare, and God does not release rare callings casually. Chosen one, hear this final declaration clearly. You are not late, you are not overlooked, you are not forgotten, you are positioned. Your scroll is opening at the exact moment your spirit is strong enough to carry what is written inside it. What God entrusted to you requires maturity, discernment, humility, and endurance, and you have been quietly built for all of it. The pressure you survived did not break you. It refined you. The waiting did not weaken you. It anchored you. Right now, in this sacred closing moment, heaven is sealing what has been revealed. Peace is replacing urgency. Confidence is replacing doubt. Alignment is replacing striving. You do not need to force what God is already unfolding. Your responsibility is not to rush ahead, but to remain faithful, responsive, and grateful as the next steps begin to appear. The doors that open next will not require you to beg, prove, or perform. They will recognize you. Chosen one, I release this blessing over you. May your discernment remain sharp and gentle. May your obedience stay pure and unforced. May your spirit remain sensitive without becoming weary. May your mind be guarded by peace and your heart anchored in truth. May provision meet you as you move, not before you move, and may favor surround you in ways no human system can block. What is ordained for you will not miss you. Anointed one, as you go forward from this moment, walk with gratitude rather than fear. Look ahead with expectation, not pressure. Stay aligned with the flow of the anointing by honoring rest, integrity, prayer, and stillness. What manifests next will not come through chaos, but through clarity. Not through noise, but through obedience. Not through striving, but through surrender. If this word resonated in your spirit, you may quietly acknowledge it by commenting something simple like, I am ready, or I receive. Not as a ritual, but as agreement. And if you feel led, share this message with another chosen one who may be walking the same hidden road, because light multiplies when it is shared in humility. Remain faithful. Remain listening. Remain grounded. Heaven is involved in every detail of your journey from here. Your destiny is not approaching, it is unfolding. Your scroll is opening. Your Kairos moment has arrived. May wisdom guide your steps, peace guard your heart, and divine favor rest upon you now and always. Amen.